The night falls over the dusty plains of the Wild West, and deep inside an old barn, a young woman's trembling voice breaks the silence. It hurts. It's my first time tonight. Rancher Cole Maddox, a man known for his steady hands and quiet heart, freezes. He's faced stampedes, outlaws, and storms, but nothing like this. What's she really talking about? Is she scared? Or playing him for a fool? As the lantern flickers and tension thickens, one lesson is about to change everything. What starts as an innocent request turns into the most unforgettable night of his life. And when the truth comes out, he'll wish he'd never taken her words so seriously. Stay till the end, because the moment she laughs, you'll realize he never saw it coming. The sun sank behind the rugged cliffs, spilling molten light across the open prairie. The wind carried the scent of dust and sage, whispering through the tall grass that framed the old ranch. Inside a lonely wooden barn, the steady rhythm of a horse's breath mixed with the faint rustle of hay. Rancher Cole Maddox, broad-shouldered and quiet as dusk itself, tightened the saddle straps on his favorite mare, Daisy. He'd worked this land all his life, his hands rough from rope and reins, a man more used to silence than laughter. The heavy barn door creaked open and in stepped Lucy, the saloon singer everyone in town whispered about, new, young with eyes bright as summer storms. She hesitated in the doorway, clutching her shawl against the chill. Cole turned, wiping his hands on his vest, his face unreadable. "You sure this is what you want, miss?" he asked, his voice a low rumble that seemed to blend with the wind outside. Lucy stepped closer, the wooden floor creaking under her boots. "I'm sure," she said softly, eyes flicking to the horse, then back to him. "But be gentle. It's my first time tonight." Cole froze mid-motion. For a moment, even the air seemed to still. He searched her face for meaning, the tremble in her voice, the nervous way she tucked a loose strand of hair behind her ear. The rancher wasn't a man of many words, but something in her tone made his heart hitch. "You don't have to do this if you're scared," he said quietly, moving closer, careful not to startle her. The horse snorted behind them, sensing the tension. Lucy gave a shaky smile. "I'm not scared," she whispered, though her hands fidgeted with the rope reins. "I just never done this before. Everyone says you're the best teacher around." Cole's jaw tightened, and then, almost reluctantly, a half-smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. "I'll teach you," he said. "But you listen to me, understand? One wrong move and you'll be eating dust before you can blink." She nodded quickly, her eyes wide, pretending to be nervous, though something mischievous flickered deep inside them. Cole didn't notice. He stepped closer, placed a steadying hand on her shoulder, and guided her toward the mare. The last streaks of daylight filtered through the slats in the barn, painting their faces in amber gold. Outside, the prairie was falling silent, and inside, a tension neither of them could quite name hung thick as the desert heat. The wooden barn doors groaned against the night. Wind as a lantern swung gently from the beam above, throwing a warm orange glow across the hay-strewn floor. Lucy stood beside the mare, her gloved hands trembling as she reached for the saddle. Cole Maddox watched quietly, one hand resting on the horse's neck, the other ready to steady her if she slipped. "All right," he said, his deep voice calm and sure. "Put your left foot in the stirrup, hold the horn firm, and pull yourself up slow. Don't rush it." Lucy bit her lip, nodding. Her fingers brushed the leather, the touch awkward and hesitant. "Like this?" Cole stepped closer, placing his rough, calloused hands over hers to guide her. "Not too tight," he murmured. "Let the reins breathe. You're fighting it and she'll fight you back." Lucy took a breath and tried again. The mare shifted, muscles rippling beneath the saddle, and Lucy gave a small gasp. "It hurts!" she cried out suddenly, clutching the horn with both hands as the horse took a single, startled step forward. Cole froze, heart leaping. "Whoa, easy there," he said sharply, catching the reins and steadying the animal. "Don't panic. Just breathe, girl." Her breathing came fast, uneven, and for a second he thought she was about to cry. He moved closer, his hands firm at her waist to keep her steady. "You're all right," he said, his voice softer now. "She just moved, that's all. She feels your fear. Relax your legs, lean with her rhythm." Lucy followed his words, trembling less with each moment. The horse began a slow circle around the barn, hooves clopping lightly against the dirt. Cole walked beside her, giving quiet instructions. How to hold the reins, when to press her heel, how to trust the animal instead of fighting it. Her hair came loose from its tie, falling over her shoulders as she began to smile. "See?" he said, finally grinning. "You're a natural. Told you it ain't so bad." Lucy looked down at him, her eyes gleaming in the lantern light. "Maybe I just needed the right teacher." Cole chuckled, shaking his head. "Don't flatter me, miss. You just needed to believe you could." For a while, the only sound was the steady rhythm of the mare's steps and the soft rustle of hay. Lucy's fear had melted away, replaced by something bright and playful. Cole didn't notice it, not yet, but the way she kept glancing down at him, holding back a smile, said she was planning something. When he finally told her to stop, she tugged the reins perfectly, halting the horse with surprising grace. Cole looked up, proud. "Well, look at that," he said. "Didn't even take you a full hour." Lucy hid her laughter behind a hand, her shoulders shaking. "Guess I'm a fast learner," she teased. Cole wiped sweat from his brow, satisfied, completely unaware that the joke was about to be on him. Lucy swung her leg over the saddle and hopped down lightly, boots landing in the soft hay with a faint crunch. Her cheeks were flushed from the ride, and the lantern light made her eyes gleam like amber glass. Cole watched her, pride still lingering on his face. "You did good, miss," he said, patting the horse's neck. "You handled her better than most first-timers I've taught." Lucy pressed a hand to her chest, breathing hard, though not from fear. "Oh, Cole," she gasped between breaths. "You should have seen your face earlier." He frowned slightly, pulling off his hat to wipe his forehead. "My face?" She broke into laughter so sudden and bright it startled the mare. "You thought I meant something else when I said it was my first time." "Didn't you?" she managed between giggles. "You looked like you were about to faint." Cole's brows knit together, realization dawning slow but sure. "You mean you were talking about riding?" he said, voice half growl, half disbelief. Lucy nodded, still laughing, clutching her stomach. "What else would I mean? You really thought—" She couldn't even finish the sentence, laughter overtaking her again. She leaned against a wooden beam, her shoulders shaking, tears glinting at the corners of her eyes. Cole turned away, his ears burning red beneath the brim of his hat. "You near gave me a heart attack, woman," he muttered. "Out here thinking I was dealing with a broken heart or something worse." Lucy straightened, still grinning mischievously. "Oh, don't be so sore." "You were sweet and so patient and serious." She took a step closer, her voice softening. "That's why I picked you, Cole. I knew you wouldn't make fun of me." He crossed his arms, pretending to stay angry, but the corner of his mouth twitched. "Well, you sure made a fool out of me." She tilted her head. "Maybe, but I'll make it up to you. How about a drink at the saloon on me?" Cole raised an eyebrow, finally letting the grin break free. "Make it 2 and we'll call it even." Lucy smiled, reaching for his hat and setting it back on his head with a playful pat. "Deal." They walked out of the barn together, boots crunching softly on the dirt. The prairie stretched wide beneath a blanket of stars, the wind carrying the faint sound of laughter toward town. Behind them, the lantern flickered out, leaving only the silver glow of the moon spilling through the barn's open door. The last witness to a night that started with nerves, ended with laughter, and left a rancher just a little wiser about the ways of women.